Hi, everyone. I am so excited to be back with this episode with a very special and unique person that I connected with recently. And I know that you all are going to love this episode. We have kind of been on a hold for the feminine voice of God. There's been a lot happening in California, which has drawn my time away, which you'll hear a little bit about some of that in the episode. But also, I am really intentional about getting people to share their experiences on this show. I feel like it's so important to get different perspectives, different experiences shared. And we're going to get a large dose of that right now with this next guest. She is a registered dietitian and personal trainer for 15 years. So she is an expert at what she does. She is a speaker, a writer, meditation instructor, which I love. Fantastic. She's also a breast cancer thriver and is on her own journey of sobriety, which I'm sure so many people can connect with. So I'm really excited to introduce this next guest to you. Welcome to the Feminine Voice of God, a podcast celebrating women's spiritual connections to God, Source, and Spirit, including the mystical and the psychedelic. Join us as we explore women's transformative experiences of divine revelation and spiritual empowerment. So I am here with Lauren Anton. We're in episode 5 of the Feminine Voice of God. And she has honored me with being on this podcast. And I hope that you are all ready to digest the incredible wisdom and information that we're going to get from this absolutely beautiful human being. And we just did this awesome ceremony right now. So we're in the vibe.
Yeah. We're definitely in the vibe.
Yeah.
We did a whole new moon thing. We burnt some sage.
Yes. It was, it's still the smell of sage in the room.
Right? We cleared, folks.
Yeah.
We really did. So we're ready.
So we are definitely ready.
Yeah.
So I want to start with asking you, what really started your spiritual journey? What was the moment that it all started to unfold for you? What was it?
Oh, what a great question. I am going to begin at the beginning.
Okay. I love that. Okay.
So the first thing that popped in my head was when I was like 7. So I grew up Catholic.
Okay.
Okay. I know.
We gotta let a breath out for that.
Yeah. And so I grew up Catholic. I went to Catholic school. I thought the whole world was Catholic. I thought most of the world was Catholic. I didn't think the whole world was Catholic. But I thought, like most everyone. Because my world was mostly Catholic.
Yeah.
There were several things. Like when I would swing on the swings and I would close my eyes and I would imagine I was like up in like my version of like heaven, because that's all I had. That's all I knew.
Yeah.
And then me and my sister, so different pictures of this. Like me and my sister would bless water and it would be holy water.
Holy water, yeah.
And that to me probably was the holiest water on the earth.
Yeah.
2 little girls saying a little prayer over it. I mean, so like that doesn't get purer than that.
That was some pure water then.
Yeah. Like literally there was nothing better.
That, yeah.
And I remember when I was 21, this was like an incredible experience. I was in the boundary waters of northern Minnesota like kind of in and out of Canada there.
Mm-hmm.
And like we were doing a whole canoeing trip, camping. And I remember I was with the tour guide. It was crescent moon.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I was watching a loon do a mating dance around the other loon.
Yeah.
And it was like unbelievable.
Wow.
And that whole trip was just a succession of just realizing there was something bigger than myself.
Mm-hmm.
There was just something bigger than myself. And apart from it being like some sort of like, I don't know, Catholic God type thing.
Yeah. You were still Catholic at this time when you went on this trip.
No, in
Okay.
fact, oh my God. This was like being in a cult.
Yeah.
I followed a girl, a friend of mine, into like basically a born again Christian group. I was in and out of that for like 10 years, from 18 to 27-ish, and, you know, so 28, somewhere in there. And it was like extricating myself out of a cult.
Yeah, I bet. So you went from like Catholic to this.
Yeah. Like, and by the way, like really chill Catholic, you know, actually don't have any like super negative things, you know.
That's awesome.
It was fine, you know, like it just was what it was.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, oh, you know, like let's go on Sunday to church, like go to mass. If it lasts over an hour, we're freaking out. Like, you know, like, like in and out. And, you know, like when like my whole psyche got wrapped up in this like born again Christianity, which is evangelical Christianity, speaking of. So I know exactly how those people think.
Yeah. It's a happy one.
Yeah. Like it's like it's just like a super, you know, far right Christianity, you know, and it prevented me from like being who I am. It just stifled me and stymied my growth big time.
Like with all the rules and
dogma. I remember one time that the group, it was on campus group, like a well-known group. They like literally hired this preacher to come and sit in front of like stand literal Bible banging in front of the main student union in the middle of campus. And like saying, like sitting there saying like being gay, specifically to preach that being gay was a sin. Wow. That is why he was there. I remember getting really faint. Like I felt faint. I was 19. And I was living a double life, you know. I was like getting blackout drunk, you know, like people were like, you have a problem. And no doubt. And you know, and I couldn't be like my gay self, you know, like I just wouldn't let myself like go there. I kept like blackout drinking, and then people would be like, oh, you made out with girls last night. Anything you want to talk about? Then I'd have to like, you know, then I felt the need to like make big public apologies, like to like, or confessions rather, to the, you know, the conservative Christian group.
Yeah.
So,
God.
Yeah, it was just gnarly. So that stymied me big time.
Yeah.
So by the time I got into like Al-Anon at the suggestion of a therapist, I was like, yeah, I was just like, when they, you know, anything that reminded me of like that, the conservative Christianity, I was just like, oh, you know?
Yeah. Red flags.
Yeah. Red flags left and right. And so I got to spend my time, you know, I spent 5 years in Al-Anon before getting sober myself. I got to find out like what my higher power truly is and how I connect to my higher power, you know? I connect to my higher power through nature, through stillness,
Yeah.
through literally my cat, like
Who's sitting on your lap?
who's sitting on my lap purring. I don't know if y'all can hear it. She is the best. Her name is Sher. I mean, she was the one that was with me during the worst of my chemo.
Oh, wow.
You know, like, because my sister would take me to my chemo appointment, and then she would take me to the hydration. But then and that was always a Thursday and a Friday. And then on Saturday and Sunday, it was just, I was by myself. Because she, you know, she had to go back home. She has a kid, you know, and my girlfriend of close to 2 years broke up with me while I was waiting for my biopsy results that she had taken me to the biopsy.
Yeah.
And she just broke up with me. And it turns out she was cheating and the whole bit.
Gosh.
And I mean, you know, she broke up with me via FaceTime on a Tuesday, came and picked up her stuff on a Wednesday, and on Thursday I was diagnosed.
Wow.
And that was that.
Wow.
And that was that.
Yeah.
I went from training to do Machu Picchu. And the Inca Trail, I was going to backpack in with a group and everything. To the same day I was supposed to fly out to Peru, I ended up getting my double mastectomy.
Wow.
And, you know, like, if I wasn't like really grounded in my higher power, like that actually grounded me even further.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you. Like, it's a lot that you're sharing right now. So I want to pause and digest like where that took you. And if it did, if you got anything from higher power spiritually through like your cancer diagnosis and going through that journey, because that is a heavy human bag
big
to carry.
It's
right there.
big. It's like a part of me died.
Yeah.
And I put all because I couldn't deal with, like, I did not know this. My way of dealing with having, like, going through the double mastectomy, then the chemo, then, you know, now I'm on hormone blockers because my cancer was hormone positive, you know, and I get, you know, I have to they found nodes in, you know, like pancreas and lungs that I have to monitor. So far, so good. But like, this is like going to be for a very long time, if not the rest of my life. Like, it never lifts. Like, you're always needing to be aware of it.
Yeah.
You know? It's not something that like, oh, okay, well, you're all better now.
Yeah.
And, you know, the body changes, the life changes, the energy changes, like, I could go on and on. It's just one change after another, one change after another, you know, not to mention the changes of like pre-cancer, my life pre-cancer, and, you know, life in the time of cancer, like, you know, like post-cancer, I suppose.
Yeah.
I don't even want to say that because it's like not, it's just like, I live with this cancer.
Yeah.
You know, like, yes, it's at bay. We're good. And we're just always vigilant.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And I want to ask you, this might sound pretty crazy as hell, but I'm going to ask you.
Probably not.
What is the cancer? Like, you guys are living together. I mean, it's just living with you. What is its message to you, if anything? Like, did you get anything like that?
Oh, big time. The big download that I'm getting, like, and this has been very recent because I put all my anger onto the breakup and onto my ex. All of it. All of my rage. Like, I was like, you know, and yeah, she did bad things, you know, and, but I carried that. And now I'm like, over the past couple months, I just had an upswelling of so much rage and anger. And my therapist was like, this isn't about your ex. And my sister recalled the other day, like, I just turned 51.
Mm-hmm.
And my sister recalled, oh yeah, when you did not want to, you were like, I don't, what can't the cancer, I just show up for the appointments.
Mm-hmm.
They tell me what to do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, because that was so out of my control,
Mm-hmm.
like to put my anger into, like, it was just more controllable and more
Something you
faceable.
could. Yeah.
Yeah. And so a handful of months ago, I was like, this is getting ridiculous. Like, I can't be this angry at this
Yeah.
this situation, the person, the breakup, the whatever. I'm like, why am I so angry? And I'm like, it just was becoming clearer and clearer.
Uh-huh.
I felt like a part of me died. My, like, cancer, like, completely changed my life.
Yeah.
Like, completely. I now, like, my whole life, I remember my sobriety, like when I got sober, it was all about like realizing, oh my, I just feel like I have this, I have to keep going. I have to keep going. Go, 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 run. I'm like, I want to, like, I felt like I had to keep run, 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 run. And I was a competitive runner for years, like, coincidentally, not coincidentally at all. And, but there was a part of me that always had to go, 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 go.
Mm-hmm.
And letting that part rest.
Yeah.
Like, I was doing body work one time and the image that came up was just very, very powerful.
Mm-hmm.
It was a teenage version of myself, and she was dressed like a warrior and she was kneeling in a desert, like exhausted. That image was so clear.
Wow.
Clear. And it's like, that's my protector.
Yeah.
That part is, the warrior was so tired.
Yeah.
The warrior was so tired. And she remains tired. And now it's like, what cancer took was, it just went like this with my youth. And people are like, oh, that's just turning 50. I'm all, no, people. It drop kicked me.
Yeah.
You know, I went from like barely like perimenopausal. I had a pretty regular menstrual cycle. My cycle was like regular, you know, and then I got cancer. And then it, like, when you do chemo, a lot of times that just knocks your period out. And then, but I'm like, actually, like, not like, they stopped the hormone blockers for like a month. Because we switched them, because the side effects of the one were too horrendous.
Yeah.
And I was like, I got to get off these. I mean, it was horrendous. It's just crushing depression.
Yeah.
And so now I got on another one. I'm like, oh my God, night and day.
Really?
And, right? I can breathe. And yeah, I can't remember where I was going with that. Dang it. What was I saying right before that?
I don't know. We're just in the flow.
We're in the flow.
I'm just going.
We're still in the flow.
I mean, we were talking about, which I wanted to get back to you on. So maybe this will bring it back.
Maybe this brings it back.
Is, what are you really angry at?
Oh, like that's what I was talking about, was the loss of my youth.
Yeah. So is that what you're angry?
That. I was like, it's this whole, like, maiden motherhood. Like, I got one foot in motherhood
and crone.
Like, I'm straddling. And, you know, my son is young. I had him kind of late. You know, he's 12. He'll be 13 in November. But like, you know, like, it's like I got one foot in there and one foot in there. And it's like, like fully embracing this, like, kind of like end of my youth. It's over. It's over. And that's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
I need to become okay with that.
Yeah. And I want to ask too, like, where is the idea or the rule of where it starts and ends from? Like, where?
There is no rule. I could just feel it.
Yeah.
Flipping, it's gone. Like, and
well, so I would ask then, how do you define then your youth? Because I'm gonna say to you, you are a very like joyful, energetic human being.
And that is so funny.
And that to me is youthful.
Yeah. And so guess what? I am going to posit right here and now that joy and energy do not have to just be solely like strapped to youth.
Yeah, exactly.
That
Yeah.
it's a deepening. Like, whereas in my youth, the running.
Yeah.
And now fully embracing this sort of like kind of releasing that.
Yeah.
And being like, it's okay. I like stillness. Like you ask like what's spiritual to me? Stillness, nature, ability to pause. Like last year I manifested, I was like, I am capable and I am worthy of a mature, serene love. However that comes in my life, I wasn't even sure. Because the relationship that I had, prior to cancer, was not.
Yeah.
It was adolescent. It was, very immature. It's very immature. My body made me stop.
Yeah. Literally.
Made you stop. Made me stop. I was affected, not just like energetically. It was like, I just had to just face death and then be like, face illness, being so sick and feeling so alone and yet feeling so much gratitude, like the both and of that. I had so much gratitude for the people that helped me. And yet I felt so alone as well.
Yeah.
Because what I lost, I think what I was angry at too, speaking of which, was, I think, and why I was angry at my ex was, she robbed me of getting to have a partner throughout, the cancer process.
Yeah.
The treatment process, the chemo process.
By her breaking up with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And cheating and leaving.
Yeah. And, then that relationship was also marked by being like feeling I was like in trouble all the time.
So,
and I didn't react well to that.
Yeah.
I just felt like I was on the bubble. I felt like, and again, it was an immature, contentious relationship, very adolescent, and the mature, serene, like my relationship with my son has gotten deeper, more mature, more serene. Work needs to be done there still. Like that's like every day's a first. That's what I like to say about motherhood. Every day is a first. And seriously. And I'm in a relationship with someone now where it's like, it's mature, it's serene, it's not, it's nutty, and I think only like, it's like, I had to be burned to the ashes. Yeah. In order to kind of rise up.
And I think too, going through those types of things and deepening within the self helps us to actually connect with that mature, serene love. Right?
And the higher power, my higher power.
Yeah. And like just honestly, your cat keeps coming to my mind too, because that is mature, unconditional, serene love.
I mean, I would be like literally on my couch, unable to move, like in the days after. Because like Saturday, Sunday, Monday, I couldn't even move. Tuesday, I would see like a couple clients that I knew really well. And then Wednesday, I started to feel somewhat normal, like, but not. Yeah. What I realized now when I finally got out of it was how awful I felt the entire time. It was bad. And, I worked all the way through it, saw clients.
Wow. So you still didn't stop?
Yeah. I mean, guess what? The universe stopped for me. I had a lot less clients. People stopped referring. Yeah. They were like, oh, Lauren has cancer.
I mean,
she's doing that.
Of course.
And I was like, here's where capitalism comes in. I'm like, mama's got to pay the bills.
For sure.
Like, I don't have a benefactor. I don't have a spouse. like, what's happening here? I need to make some money,
Yeah.
you know, like, and I need to pay these medical bills
Yeah.
that I'm going to pay for years to come. So, you know, but what's become apparent for me is like, I spent the last couple years really deepening my meditation practice through like doing a, instructor training and really like becoming regular. And I've meditated for like over 20 years now, and that's so funny. I was thinking about that earlier today. And now I'm like just fully embracing ritual and making it my own.
Yeah.
Like putting together little altars, put it like that. I like it.
Yeah.
I'm like, I gravitate towards that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm like, that's what I want to do. Yeah. Guess what? I'm doing it.
It's so crazy how just innately so many of us are just drawn to that. Because it's the deeper truth.
When I was little, I remember, oh my gosh, there would always be like, I would call them I always wanted to go into like the rock stores where they had rocks.
Oh, like all the crystals.
All the crystals.
Yeah. Of course.
Like I was like, oh, and my dad would buy me one, and then I remember one time I walked into this, I would call it smelly shops. They had like incense and stuff,
Smelly shops.
I was like, smelly shops. Oh, I got to smell, and smelly shops could be like even a soap shop, but like I loved like anything where they had like, I would smell every single candle, smell every single everything.
Yeah.
And I remember I walked into this one place and they had like a singing bowl. It just like, it looked like a huge crystal white bowl.
Yeah.
And they had a ring in it.
Ooh.
And these women were all around it. Like, it seemed to me, to my little Catholic girl self, and I was really little. They were like, it seemed like they were praying.
Yeah.
But they were probably doing like a chant of some sort. And they were like basically beckoning me to come in.
Oh, nice.
And I was like so attracted to this thing. And then my mom was like, Lauren, get over here. Because she was like, that's witchcraft.
Of course.
And I'm like, yes.
Yeah. But of course, the witchcraft. And here you are. But you see how it comes around.
It does.
And like how we are pulled to those things naturally. And like it happens. But this is what I like to call the great game of God, where it's letting us get close and then pulling us away, putting us in the light and then bringing us back to the dark, the yin and yang of life.
Always, 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 always. And, I always felt a closeness to like a higher power, or when I was little, like God, like I would always feel that. And, sometimes it didn't feel benevolent, it didn't feel benevolent. And there were some tough times. And I kind of, my higher power when I was like, probably like, 6th grade on up, was like getting the best grades I possibly could and getting to college.
Yeah.
And getting to a really good college, really good university. And I wanted to get into the best of the best of the best, And I mean, you aim for a 10 and hit a 7, that's pretty good, And but I was just like driven. And that was my higher power, was that running.
Yeah.
Everything had to be fast, fast, fast. If I didn't get something fast, that was cause for a panic. That was cause for a flare of anger, And now I'm like, I know learning something slowly, like I don't need, like, it's gotta go, it's gotta get slower. And my youth was marked by go, 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 fast, 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 fast. Urgency, and now it's like quiet, still nature, like even just like doing like my charcoal art,
Yeah.
like just that.
Yeah. I understand that.
And listening.
Yeah.
And being okay with being wrong
Mm-hmm.
and being okay with not knowing everything and, making amends,
Mm-hmm.
like that.
Yeah.
Taking the time to have the conversations that need to be had.
Yes, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
And I think too, being okay with being uncomfortable.
Yes.
I think that's a big piece.
Oh, I tell my clients this all the time. I'm like, there's it's okay to have benign discomfort.
Yes.
You're okay.
You're going to be okay. Yeah.
We need to have this benign.
Yeah.
We need,
it's so true.
I spent the last 2 years just being like having this like dark journey of the soul.
Yeah.
And actually, like since I got sober,
Mm-hmm.
it's been.
So sobriety happened before cancer?
Yeah. 2020, July 9th, 2020.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah. And it's just been like, I remember my mom died like 6 months into my sobriety.
Oh.
I had to get a surgery. I moved several times.
It just all.
And then I got cancer. Yeah.
It just all, and it's just the way the universe likes to do it.
Yeah.
There's a big fucking slap in the face of shit.
Yeah.
For us to go through.
Well, it just life's. And how do we handle it? Mm-hmm. Life's not going to, like, look at the recent fires. Like, people have lost everything.
Yeah.
And I don't think there's like some God in the sky that's like, no, that's just life's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It just as easily could have been me losing my house.
True. Yeah.
People go through shit. And like, how do you respond?
Yeah.
How are you going to be?
I agree.
Like, we're just all here. I don't think there's like, I don't like, oh, well, this was, it's here's how it is.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, you can go through it kicking and screaming, or you can go through it with, all right.
Yeah.
Apparently this is what is happening right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will await next indicated action. Yeah.
Yeah. No, 1,000%. And I think that is it's like a learned skill, or even just something that takes human experience to be there. Right. Because, and I saw this beautiful video that explained this so eloquently, that and it was talking about the fires too, specifically saying how, and in case those of you that don't know, California, we were in a state where wildfires, we had like 6. It was burning everything.
It was literally like firestorms. If you look it up, it's like it was waves of fire.
Yeah, it was everywhere. And
horrible.
Yeah. Burned so much of California, this area over here by Los Angeles, Pacific Palisades. It was
Eaton Canyon. Yeah. Altadena is gone. I mean, it's just like literally horrendous.
And I saw this video of this Native American woman saying how we, with all the horrible things, have to have a sense of gratitude just for being able to even be here and witness, even in the horribleness of it all. And that we have a responsibility. And I like how she broke this down, because she said we have an ability to respond. That's the responsibility.
Oh my goodness. I loved that.
It. I was like,
that's literally it.
Yeah. That's literally it. That's exactly what you're talking about right now. Like and even if that it's like in that moment, you can choose to flip the fuck out, which is warranted, I think, especially if your house burns down. And 2, at the same time, it's like that breath and that pause of just being the witness. Even of everything that's going on emotionally, because that's just part of the humanness too.
Oh yeah. Like, and there's so much like, I think it's very important to like if you have anger, let it flow through you. It's your responsibility, however, like, You have the ability to respond. Like, that's true. Like, how am I going to respond? How I know I'm angry because, my house burnt down or whatever, in my case, hey, I am angry over this, that, like my mom died, like a breakup, I got cancer, my business took a nosedive, and getting to trust in the benevolence of the universe. Like, okay.
Yeah.
And talk about like non-attachment to possessions.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm like, I became so afraid of losing my home. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to lose my home. I'm not going to be able to, I was so afraid I was going to lose my home when I financially was like not doing well.
Yes. Yeah.
And because of the cancer, and the universe does for us what we can't do for ourselves.
Yeah.
And I needed to like be like resting. There was no way I could have had more clients and worked more than what I did.
The fact that you still did that, Lauren, is you're a warrior. That's the soldier I was just talking to you about right now before we got on this podcast. And you bringing up the non-attachment and the possessions, and like, Lauren, even the attachment to the human body.
Oh my God.
Like, it took that.
It took like my like attachment to how my body operates.
Yeah.
How my body looks, how my body, my body went through major shifts. They give you a lot of steroids, then these hormone blockers, like I don't fit in most of my clothes anymore. And I'm not in a financial position to be buying a whole bunch of clothes, like a whole new wardrobe, so getting creative with like, okay, well, I have this and this. Yeah. Non-attachment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At the deepest level too for you.
The deepest level to my body the way it used to operate.
Yeah.
Like I'm like kind of chronically anemic, like right there, and yeah. And there's other side effects of the meds that affect energy levels, and it's funny. You're like, you're so energetic. And I'm like, huh, I had infinitely more energy before.
Yeah.
So that's a blessing. Like the fact that I can do that. I'm like, oh, really? I feel like I'm like a third, like a third of the energy I used to have, and, but then I think also a part of that was a frenetic energy.
Well, and you kind of explained that with the nonstop going.
Yeah.
And then your vision even told you that with like this desert. Like it's like I can't.
Total collapse.
Yeah.
Like, and then my body's like, yeah, we're just going to completely make you stop.
Yeah. I mean, you were forced by powers outside of your control.
Yep.
Yeah. And the surrender that took. I mean, we were just with your thing, with your affirmation of like trusting and letting it go. To
non-attachment to outcomes.
Yeah.
I do not know. Like people are like, what's your year goal? I'm like, I have no idea. Like all I know is that like some things that I'm drawn to now. I feel very drawn to doing, like a half-day workshop / retreat, involving, like obviously meditation.
Yes. Yeah.
Ritual, all the stuff that I've been doing for a long time now. And like just kind of a reconnection to the body. reconnection to the body. As it is in this moment. Today.
Yeah.
I didn't say you got to be like, oh my God, I love this. Like, it's just an acceptance.
Yeah.
Acceptance doesn't mean a laying down and dying. It means I'm okay with this flux.
Yeah.
I'm okay. Like, I'm here now. Here's my body right this very instant. I have learned to even like adjust like the way I'm eating, like, oh, that doesn't feel good. I can't do that. Yeah. I used to be able to eat that. Now I can't. Okay. Well, then I get to be sad.
Yeah.
Like literally it's been grieving process about like 100 different things. Like, trust me, this is a big grieving process about like the loss of my, young adult body.
Yeah.
It's gone. No, literally.
It is.
I had a part of it amputated, and the loss of like my clothing.
Yeah.
My girlfriend was nice enough to like pack away. I was like, because I'll tell my clients and like, if they go through body changes, I'm like, you know what? You don't have to give the clothes away yet or at all. Get a box, get a bin, get a something, get a suitcase. I don't care. And put what doesn't work for you right now. And I do say right now, I don't know. We don't know what the future brings.
Yeah.
And get it out of your purview so that you're not sitting there being like, and I did that.
I agree.
Like, get it out of your purview.
I did that too. I had so many clothes I used to wear. And I'm like, one day I will wear you again.
No, like, maybe.
And then, and it's exactly, it's maybe. And it just, and every time I'd go in there, there's just this sigh of like not being there. So I'm like, you know what? That's it. I'm just going to take them out. I'm going to put them in a bag and put it in the garage. And I'm going to just keep the stuff that actually fits me and that I feel good in.
Yeah.
Because why am I doing this to myself?
Oh my God,
the cycle of suffering that we like to put ourselves into. We do that.
We love to sit in some suffering.
We do.
We got to learn things. The universe gives us the lesson until we choose to learn it.
Until we choose to. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
That's what that is. And I tell my clients like all the time, I'm like, get that stuff out of your purview. And it, you can revisit it in 6 months. Set it, if you must, put it in the calendar.
Yeah.
I don't care. But like, you may notice that once it's out of your sight, you're not thinking about it anymore.
I honestly don't think about them.
No.
Yeah. They're like in there and I'm like, I don't even remember what I put in there.
You don't even remember what you put in there.
Yeah.
And if something does come to mind,
then I go look for it.
Yep, exactly.
And I grab it.
And you grab it and you take a look at it and I do that with like cards that people have given me. I have like a stack and I'm like,
I love that.
Yeah. And I'll sift through and I'll be like, and some of them lose their meaning.
Yeah.
And then they go in the, they go away.
Yeah, they do.
They go away.
But that's part of our thing too, is like things.
Things.
Right? All the things. I have that at home. I have things. So many things just, and it's like, I notice I collect them and it's like, I want to keep this. And it can be a piece of a wrapper of something that I opened that had meaning that somebody gave to me. I'm like, okay, I'm going to keep this. And I'm like, you know what? Like recently I've started thinking like, you know what? I'm like holding on to these things and energetically, I also feel I'm holding on to things. And that's why earlier, before we got on here, I talked to you about surrender is difficult for me. Sometimes letting go is a hard one for me. And I'm going to bring this up. But when I did a mushroom journey, which I totally talk about on here, mushroom journeys, psychedelics, it showed me how we want so much control. We don't even think sometimes that it's control, but it's like it's control. And you guys want to control so much.
Yeah.
But if you trusted and surrendered and let go, so much would actually work out for you, but you don't. So you want to keep controlling. So go see if you can make it happen with your control, with the way that you want things to turn out.
And I've just found out, like, trust me, if I had any control over anything, things would be a lot different. And you know what, though? Like, the blessings I receive in the reality that I live in are untold.
Yeah.
Like, and it's just, and they're not like big things. It's little things. You know, it's my son dancing with me in the living room. It's getting to my sister showing up because my girlfriend surprised me like with a dinner and like invited her, and my sister drove all the way up, came to see me on my, on my birthday. My dad taking me and my son out. It's little things, meeting a new friend and being like, oh my gosh, you're so cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be earth shattering. It's watching the full moon. It's doing a ritual for the new moon. It's little things. It's snuggling, getting to wake up with my kitty.
Yeah.
How she comes and she snuggles with me.
Yeah.
Sometimes oh my gosh, she'll yell at me if I don't snuggle with her enough.
Oh, I bet. I mean, she was yelling earlier when she wanted her treat.
I know. She was like, meow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Part of it is like the treat, but then part of it, she wants to snuggle on the couch. She's like dead serious.
She's ready. I mean, she's happy in her cat tree.
Yeah. Now she's like perched.
She's so cute.
I know. She's like, she could tell we're doing stuff.
Yeah. She's like, you guys are busy. Obviously, I'm going to go. But yeah, I agree. I think it's those little things that we start to take for granted, right? That really and that's what you were talking about earlier too, like slowing down and like being with that.
Yes. Like I even think of like our work together, like I wrote down like, I have an astro journal through G. Nicholas, and it's the best. And so I can't even remember what the little prompt was, but I wrote down, have so much fun in cooking group today.
Yeah.
Like, I get to teach a cooking group?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
That's so fun.
Yeah. And the different personalities that show up for that, right? That's the joy too.
That's such a joy.
And you have to love it. You have to.
There's like, yes.
If you try to control everyone too much, and that's where it comes back, right? If you try to control everyone, you're just like you just put yourself back in a different form of suffering.
You got to get into flow.
Yeah, just flow and just love it.
Flow and love it.
And I love how you let people show up in their way. And then I think that's what has brought them to a place where they want to join. They want to join because, one, I'm going to bring it back. Your fucking energy is fantastic. And the way you can communicate with them is incredible. But two, you let them show up in their way. And like you
gotta.
And you celebrate like the oddities and the things that somebody else might say, don't do that. This is how you're like, I love that. I love the way you cut those strawberries. Those strawberries were chopped in a completely different way that I think anybody on this planet would ever chop strawberries.
I didn't care.
But you celebrated it.
It's good. It tasted good.
And that's what matters.
I'm like, yay, this is how it's meant to be.
And I think that's the beautiful piece of like letting go of that control and just like love and looking out for each other along the path of life and showing up for each other in the best way that we can.
Yeah. Like good, the bad, and the ugly too.
Yeah.
Like, because it does get good, bad, and ugly. It really does.
I mean, it's the yin and yang though. We can't have one without the other. We have to.
You really can't.
Yeah.
So
we gotta love it all.
You really do. Yeah, truly, truly, truly. Like one of my favorite things is now to have tough conversations with my significant other and being like, truly make amends for that. Like I started crying, one time, and I was like, don't, she was like, oh, don't worry, she kind of stopped talking. And I was like, no, keep going. I'm like, don't mind my crying. We'll worry about me later.
Yeah. Letting the energy flow.
Yeah. Just letting that happen. And, hey, you don't need to caretake me right now. Like, I want to like really make amends. I want to, learn better so that I do better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and I love that you bring that up too about the caretaking, because I think that's such a natural response for so many people. And I think especially people that when you're in your feminine energy, you want to caretake and nurture that and be like, oh, like, and I think that's the other part of us that we need to listen to, of like, allow. And let it all, because and I think too, that's another thing that, and I'm just going to bring this up, I feel like that's the way it shows up in the masculine energy, is how can I fix this too, right? Like I need to solve and fix, and instead of, and it's because we're uncomfortable with the other person or thing or whatever, or being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like we don't want to be uncomfortable. So, and it brings us back to another point we made of being uncomfortable.
Yeah. Benign discomfort.
And that being okay.
Yes. Like, I think working in mental health, like that has allowed me to like let people be in their thing.
Oh yeah.
You're like, I allow.
Yeah.
I give it space.
You have to learn that, because you can't control it. Sometimes you can't change it. There's nothing you can do but sit with them in that space, in the darkness of whatever they're going through. And that's the best way you can honor that.
Yeah. And I think the best way I learn that is by doing it with myself.
Yeah.
Like,
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm going through the darkness right now, like, so that's it. It starts with ourselves.
Yeah.
For sure.
1,000%.
1,000%.
Yeah, I agree. So I want to ask you, what message did you get from your journey of spirituality? You're on this journey of humanness, right? That you would like to share, or that you would share with the world?
Oh my gosh.
I mean, I got like 20 people listening to this. I got like 2 people in Sweden. I got somebody in Russia.
Hi, all.
Some people in the Philippines. So what?
The message.
We just want to, what is the message that you feel like the biggest lesson that you gained from this?
I'm not kidding. That affirmation I read.
Which was, because they don't know.
I know. I wrote this affirmation a couple weeks ago. And this is right here. My higher power, my spirit is bigger than all of these, my fears, my grudges, all these things that I hang on to. My higher power, my spirit is bigger than all of that. I have persevered and remained resilient, and I am not defined by my past. I can and will rise above and remain open to what my higher power has for me in this life. That. Being open. Yeah. Release, like wipe clean, receive. Wipe clean, receive.
Yeah. And I hear too in there like that, you recognize and know that your spirit is like beyond the human form.
Oh yeah.
And is like the all-knowing thing, connected to the oneness of everything. So all the things that we hold on to, I'm turning it over to that.
Yeah, just, okay, I release this.
Yeah.
I have to release this. I must release this, or I will die.
Yeah.
You know, I'm thinking of certain things when I say that. If I don't release this.
Yeah. What things?
You know, oh gosh, you know, just like kind of the things I was saying earlier. Old, you know, like the ideas of like old, my old body.
Yeah.
How things should be. You know, all the things I assigned to that, that old relationship I was talking about. Like, you know, like, you know, it became emblematic of, you know, my getting cancer.
Yeah.
You know, like those two things just got so mixed up and conflated, you know, and now it's like, letting go. Because the more I remain like stuck on that moment in time, on those 3 days, like it will kill my soul.
Yeah. And it's taking you away from the
present
only moment that exists.
Yeah. Like all the richness in my life now.
Yeah.
Like, are you kidding?
Yeah.
If I remain mired up in that, I want to experience the abundance that is present in my life today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even when I have medical debt, even with, you know, like continued health concerns, still so much abundance.
Yeah.
Both and.
Yeah. I agree. I mean, you're here with us still.
Yeah.
Which is fucking incredible. I mean, we would not be here, guys, if Lauren was not here. Like they wouldn't be sharing this with people. And who knows who.
Yay, modern medicine.
Yeah, who this might connect to. You know, like you don't know. So like it's that in itself. You are the miracle, you are the blessing. And that is, I mean, that's the most beautiful thing, because then now you get more moments of humanness. I mean, look at this being up here enjoying. And then your mature love that came in, you know, like it's here. It's right here. We're here in it.
Yes.
And yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
You know, have you ever watched, or you know who Ram Dass is? Okay. Have you ever watched Becoming Nobody?
No, I haven't.
No?
Do I need to watch this?
You should see Becoming Nobody. I think you would.
The title itself, like right there.
I think you would really enjoy it.
Drip away the bullshit.
Yeah. And he went through a stroke. I mean, very different, right? But he went through a stroke.
Like he had
and lost all mobility in one part of his body, and was like, I had to accept it.
What are you gonna?
And then he's like, now I love my pain. I love my wheelchair. I love that I get to experience my human body in a different way now, because before, like when I was upset, like what? It got me nothing.
Oh yeah. No, it's such a waste of energy.
Yeah. And he's like, and I'm here as a passenger anyway for the spirit. So why?
Like, yeah, this body is literally a passenger for the spirit.
Yeah.
You know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
You're just like, okay, rolling with this, rolling with that. You know, one foot in front of the other.
Yeah.
And being very, very open.
Yeah. And it goes by, Lauren. Like,
oh my God.
In the comparison of eternity, it's like that.
It's like that.
And we worry and just get connected and really attached to things that are not. It's not worth it.
Yeah. And brings us back to the non-attachment.
Yeah.
We can't be attached to outcomes, things, people, situations, nothing. Non-attachment.
Yeah.
It's big.
It is. That's a big one for sure.
Yeah.
So we're going to give everything away. We're going to become minimalists. We're going to have nothing. We're going to live. So? No, I'm just messing. Maybe one day, but not today. So we're still having some attachment to work through here.
Well, and I don't even think like, it's just like, okay, here's what I have today.
Yeah.
And
it could be gone.
Things can happen. Like things do happen.
It does.
Like think about like
what just happened.
Yeah. Well, and then
Yeah.
like think about your own life too. Like, what was your life like 5 years ago?
Yeah, very different.
Yeah. Or however many years ago. Like pick a time.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh wow, the things I thought was so important at that point aren't important now.
They don't really matter.
Really what matters is connection. That to the cell, to this body and your soul and your higher power and those around you. Connection.
Yeah.
And the earth too.
And the earth, yes. That's a big one.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to end on that because that was beautiful. I agree. So tell us, where can people find you?
People can find me. My website, laurenanton.rd. Oh, sorry. Wow. laurenantonrd.com. RD is in registered dietitian. And
IG?
Oh, I am Lauren, Instagram at Lauren Anton RD. My Facebook professional page at Lauren Anton RD. And I'm on Blue Sky a little bit, that's pretty new, at Lauren Anton RD. It's always at Lauren Anton RD.
Yeah.
Sign up for my newsletter. You get the latest and greatest offerings.
Yeah. We'll put the plug in there for you.
Right?
I mean, you get registered dietitian, personal trainer. You got speaker, meditation instructor.
Yeah.
Writer.
Mm-hmm.
So connect with Lauren. I'll put all her information in the show notes. But thank you, Lauren, for making this happen today.
Oh, thanks for inviting me.
I'm honored, of course.
Oh my gosh, I am honored.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to the feminine voice of God. May the divine feminine within you continue to guide and inspire your spiritual journey. Stay connected, share your insights, and embody the wisdom shared on our podcast. Until next time, may the sacred essence of the feminine illuminate your path.